dead and defeated bodies laying around. The question hung heavy. How many people had been killed? Their hand radiating a malevolent, crimson energy. Dozens. Hundreds. 3 figures stood silhouetted against a backdrop of cold, metallic walls. A single stark word hung in the air. Choose. Either disarm the device or die. The faces of the 2 muscular figures from before contorted in a mixture of fear. The confrontation exploded into raw physicality. One of the hulking figures launched a desperate, furious punch. The uniformed figure remained an impassive force. A maelstrom of crimson energy erupted around him, deflecting the blow with contemptuous ease. In the background, the attacker was already being violently flung away. The remaining figure, his face a mask of terror, raised his hands in surrender. Come and take it. The large man could only offer a broken, subservient plea. Yes, sir. Hands outstretched and trembling, begged. Please give it to me. Eyes glowing with a malevolent red, wreathed in crackling purple energy, a figure roared in primal fury. You peanut! Making a sneak attack. The clash of powers was unleashed, engulfed in a blinding explosion of purple energy. The same figure, his face a mask of savage glee, screamed. Did you think I'll follow you? Momentarily taken aback, his glowing red eyes widening slightly, could only utter a single, confused syllable. Ha! A chilling thought in his mind. One of the villains that Tome captured said, "Those who lack physical abilities are truly pitiful. You don't know how ecstatic it feels to smash a person when you shoot from far away, right?" As in present, a punch from CO came to the prisoner face, blowing it up in one go. Doesn't it just feel like breaking an egg with my fist? A new scene unfolded. The uniformed figure stood in a sterile corridor. A hand pressed a glowing red button on a keypad. CO stood silhouetted in a doorway bathed in an ominous blue light, his intense red eyes now framed by a more subdued, while the prisoner sitting speaks. It's so noisy outside, huh? The focus returned to the uniformed figure. It has been 3 years? A knowing smirk played on his lips as prisoner declared, I knew you'd come here. Now the name of the prisoner is shown to be Chiak Fildio, greeting Seo after a very long time. He thought that Seo would change his job. Now standing ready to fight, Seo with his regular question asks him, to choose to die or not. Chiak removing his mask smiling, tells him if he knew he would meet him like that, he would have prepared something. Scene goes in past of the villain, binded in chains, defeated. To a stone pillar, Seo standing in front his attention fell on something, a pot with the meat of human in it, and blood overflowing. Chiak asks to anger him, does it look good? Laughing asking So his feeling to kill someone now, enraging him, So charges his hand with his red aura, as other heroes watch him in shock, So ready to punch Chiak on the spot, to kill him, stopped in between by a woman, So stopping and watching his back, while the woman with blonde hair asks him to stop. And don't do it. Chiak in present butting between his memories. Look at your colleagues. Look how disappointed they were. CO, holding a hand that crackles with red energy, him declares, if you don't answer me, I'll consider you chose death. Chiak smiling, do you know the reason I killed them? Facing the danger up front, So not wanting to listen to him, dashes at him slicing his head in one go, but him not dead yet, from So behind a voice. Because. Chiak now engulfed in purple light. I wanted them to remember me. So I killed them, and become the most memorable person in their life. Several glowing purple butterflies. When they died by my ability. A close-up of an eye with a tear is visible. They won't forget me. As the room filled with purple energy, with his face everywhere, and butterflies flying everywhere. Wide grin and glowing eyes, surrounded by purple effects. They will engrave it in both their eyes. As proof, I can show you everyone's memory that I killed. Should I show you each one of them? This kid. Suddenly Chiak's eyes widened in shock as he saw his hand has been cut without him realizing, undoing his summon. Chiak in pain holding his hand, while So asks, is it because you're a salty prisoner? So approaching him as he makes his sword from his energy, wanting to stop his gibberish mouth, in rage threatening him with his sword. As he knew Chiak does not have time to attack Seo, Chiak as his dying wish asks him last thing, before he dies, that does so remember the people he have killed to far, denying not falling for his petty tricks, moves closer to him, but as a last struggle Chiak summons Seo comrades, in front of him, who died while fighting alongside him, stopping Seo in place, as Seo watches them in shock, not able to move another step, Chiak with a large grin on his face as he had finally accomplished to stop him. So now on rage as his comrades tries to stop him. Suddenly a sword comes in front of the blonde woman face, leaving her in shock. cutting through all the illusion. So dashes forward, in total anger ask him, was that the end of his cheap trick? Chiok in disbelief left in shock, kept smiling in face of death. He gloated, I can't believe you cut off your colleagues off without hesitation. Then, his eyes widening in a terrifying way, so saying, isn't it just an illusion? Cutting him in half with a single slash from his sword. His body falling behind, as he undoes his sword, tells him, I'm not the hero anymore. I'm a prison guard. Chiok denying him while bleeding, saying he is not only prison guard, he was also. You are a monster. Dying after saying his final words, while CO stands in purple energy. A monster, just like Anwujin Sungwon. The final panel shows So Kang-yu in his prison guard uniform, watches back with monstrous eyes. Scene shifts to the main villain, sitting holding the meatball board, while the woman lays on the ground, without the fight with the villain, not even showing single act of resistance, don't speaks even after a fierce fight, villain getting impatient, asking when will Sa come down, and if not, a battlefield with woman lying down after the fight, he will come up. The scene then transitions to a swirling vortex of blue energy. From a higher vantage point, three figures stand on a rocky precipice, gazing down at a massive, intricate purple crystalline structure, perhaps a prison. Meanwhile, one asks, Sinkanim, when will you start? Woman with purple hair speaks with a slight smirk, saying, he appeared. A broad shot then reveals So Kang-yu in his prison guard uniform, standing alone amidst the purple haze. A closer, more intense shot of his face follows, his red eyes glowing, holding a tablet and smiling unsettlingly, telling them he is her dear husband. Your husband? Watching SEO on tablet screen, but Sinkanim's answer, a defiant, yes, my husband, smiling back to her comrades. While one speaks, calling her name, asking her wasn't Huang her husband, revealing his real name to be Canis, other woman also added, her name to be Kato, agreeing with Canis, asking was it not the reason to save him, attacking the EMP, Canis adding, CO is a hero and will be least helpful for human development. Sinka saying, no, I don't see him like that though, her eyes wide, a chilling smile played on her lips. As CO is shown again on tablet with determined look, a brutal choice had been forced upon her, then you should only choose one. Polygamy is illegal. And since they don't get along well, maybe the one who survives here is my fated one. So, who will survive? Watching her tablet smiling menacingly, it was prison guard So Kang-yu, a man who had cleared the first basement floor in an instant. Good job, prison guard So Kang-yu, echoed through the head of the prison watching the dead bodies, complimenting him for his power. A chilling warning followed, the power of the prisoner will increase exponentially. So take a break for a moment. Her gaze fixed on the glowing-eyed man, refused. I can't. I'm going down. She understood him as she watched him up close, and asked him for another favor from him, telling him in the lower floor, second floor basement, within the blood-soaked depths, a signal flickered. There is still a live guard sending signal. How many guards are on each floor do you think? The question hung heavy. Can we return them to their family? All the communication devices are broken below the first basement floor, so I don't know the exact number. But she was sure of at least one. From the fifth basement floor, a faint cry pierced the gloom. Because all the communication devices on the fifth basement floor are still working, as camera watches the half-cut man crawling on floor asking for help. A man, writhing in agony, screamed, crying, help me! As the main villain and the woman floating approached him from behind, and with single hand flick from the main villain, guard face started to swell and bursted, splatting the blood all over the place. As camera still watches the horrific scene, now in blood rain, villain announces, I'll show it to whoever is watching up there. Looking directly at camera with grin in face and bloodied background. CO telling her he is going down, as her underling says, I'll open the door through the first basement floor. She granting the permission to open the door through the walkie-talkie. Now the door starts to open, as small light comes from behind it. Once again, you should be careful, because of the strength difference between the prisoners of the first and the second basement floor. Warning for the last time as Seo stands in front of the gate, is like land and sky. Shocked to see the scene in front of his eyes, as he saw guards fighting each other with destruction all over the place. Chaos erupted. Bwahaha, you son of a gun! Met by another's challenge. The fastest one is the winner. Shoot them! Someone commanded as energy bursts lit the scene. A woman screamed, her face a mixture of shock and terror. A ominous reply from one prisoner. You should worry about yourself first. His own red eyes blazing, confirmed the brutal reality. Then you can worry about others. As he unleashes a sneak attack from his hand to the woman, smiling to see her up close. She is the boss, right? This is a rare opportunity, holding her from her neck. I always wanted to break her arrogant face. Grabbing her face with one hand, asks her, should I do it now, as she struggles. Suddenly, calling for his brothers, hey Peanuts, it's the prison guards. Stopped in mid-sentence as he looked back in surprise. Bathed in a hellish red glow, emerged from a landscape of carnage. He gasped, what? His eyes wide with shock and dawning horror. Overhead, a grotesque, red-tinged power manifested, its tendrils reaching downwards, seeking to consume. The very ground fractured, consumed by jagged, crimson energy. Red spikes exploded from the ground, impaling bodies and tearing the air, as the man screamed. Sending the woman in hand grasp also flying backwards, watches Seo in horror as he tells her, don't come down to the second basement floor. Seo Kang-yu, the prison guard, stood bathed in the blood-red glow, his eyes now mirroring the danger he warned of. It's dangerous. Even head woman could only utter a hesitant, yes, understood. Calling out for him once again from behind, as Seo started to go, tells him one last important thing to him, that tome Tomoki caught, is on the first basement floor? Not even looking or stopping now, his reply was that he knew, as the woman watches in shock. Now the first floor basement is shown, prisoners talking to each other. Did he succeed? Did you hear the sound? It's like a roaring sound, right? The woman is shown smiling, as she asks the others can any one of them make a huge fuss like that. Sitting on the guard, with a smirk declared, he doesn't listen when he is told not to go. Her name is and killed count is shown, further mocking the others, telling them they are villains as they are stupid. This chilling statement came just as a hulking figure raged. Do you want me to kill you? She scoffed. The questions echoed. Have you ever killed a human with special abilities? Others also listening to her, as she corrects herself asking, have you ever even fought them? Made the man in anger. For your information, I fought them before, that's why I'm here. Laughing on his face, the person then transforms saying, he's going to kill one with ability right now. Woman with her single slash from her transformed hand made a cut, in between the man, killing him on the spot says, kill, who will kill and who will get killed? Wiping the blood from her hand, as her full transformed figure is shown with tattoos and spiky hair, tells other her past, as all watches her in shock, saying, when she was hero she caught lot of villains, and with that knowledge she killed many heroes, as body she sliced rips apart, sitting behind it, tells them she will teach them, licking blood from her fingers, if they join forces with her. She will tell to hunt a person with special ability, and more importantly, I know about. So moving closer to them, she smiling menacingly as she knew so weakness. Other not believing her words asks, you know Seo Kang-yu's ability? One person coming forward adds, how did you know that? Explains herself, by telling she was used to be a seasoned warrior, so she have a good grasp of most heroes' info. One among other prisoner questioning her knowledge, what changes if you know the ability? Adding, Seo is from equality where only first-tier heroes were, and it's different from third-rate like her. The female character, perhaps annoyed by his dismissiveness, simply sighs and tells further. Equality under Laosa's leadership. A key figure in equality is introduced, making reforms in hero industry, as, firstly, they redefine the meaning of a hero. This is followed by the explicit rule, they prevented heroes from killing villains. Secondly, they regularly formed teams for joint training among heroes. Lastly, the hero grading system that ranged from 1st to 5th tier was abolished. As the reason she is telling to them is, the time when Seo Kang-yu joined equality was, when the grading system was abolished. Further, it's revealed that Seo Kang-yu joined equality in an exceptional manner, without any notable achievements. Rumors spread that she was Laosa's secret lover. The other agrees with her as, he also has not seen Seo fight, but still, as he cleared the first floor, he must be at least second-tier hero. She adds that the first floor was filled with weaklings, and the guys here, like Choi Mokgang, killed 1738, and Hien Hai EU, killed 1983. Clear it easily like him, right? Asking him who himself has killed 6,435. I'm not saying Seo Kang-yu is weak. He is strong, but she knows his weakness, smiling, gives them hope they can hunt him down. Man question her again, do she really know high weakness? Cutting his speech in middle asks them, do they have any other option? And to decide quickly as, the enemy is getting closer, you know? The prisoners quickly raise their hand one by one, and agrees to join forces, signifies his approaching danger. She asks the final man what about him, as he watches in silence, replies stating, I'll join forces too. Asking her what's the plan now. Centuries ago, when superpowers appeared among humans, scholars classified superpowers into three major categories through research. These categories are the ability to transform or enhance the body, also called physical series. Next, the ability to create something from nothing, also called creation series. Those not included in the previous two categories, suggesting unique and diverse abilities. Also called special series. All prisoners watch her quietly, with some doubt on their faces. Now the prison guard hat comes in scene. It was SEO standing in front of all the prisoners. The arrival of the central threat is confirmed with glowing eyes and decisive pronouncements from two characters. This identification is made possible by the physical series brainwave communication. Woman thinking smiling to see him. Seo Kangyu's superpower is the same physical series as mine. Adding to the complexity, Tomoki believes she found Seo Kangyu's weakness by observing his training scene during his hero days. This past training involved a training robot against which the younger Seo Kangyu fought. The training escalated further as the robot was engaging combat mode, and a chilling command was issued. Choose if you want to die now, so asking all prisoners. Suddenly from above a purple light flashed, hitting him while he was still in middle of sentence. Him not even dodging the attack stands there. Woman with a confident smirk remarks, he didn't dodge the attack at all, right? Comparing him with his past self, in response to the target's power, Tomoki uses a sturdy prison door as a shield, while creation/special series ability users are strategically deployed to pour out attacks. The concentrated, long-range attack bursts with multicolored energy and sound effects. The male prisoner confirms, as you said, he's just taking hits. The reason is revealed. The fact that he didn't dodge because it's not worth dodging, as he remains engulfed in the vibrant, explosive energy, unflinching. That why Tomoki included one more pattern within long-range attack. A complex element designed not just for damage but to bind or incapacitate. Ribbon-like tendrils begin to wrap around Seo Kangyu's head and body, obscuring his grimacing expression and glowing red eyes. Despite this, Seo Kangyu stands firm in his dark military uniform, with glowing red orbs on his shoulders and wrists, and an earlier scene indicated attachment complete, suggesting that these devices are either controlling his powers or are integral to his current formidable state. Past is shown, talking about plan, and following orders of her to collect these devices. Ask her that this will be sufficient. She nods and tells him, they just need to attach multiple, to seal his ability. Orders one to attach with her ability in long-range attack. Smiling menacingly adds, just for safety we will add 30 of them. Seo is shown gripped all around his body with devices. A triumphant cry echoed, I attached the control device. You're dead, you peanut. There were 3 errors in Tomoki's strategy. As the prisoner watched in shock, Seo body tearing apart the bindings one by one, with only his murderous intent. The first error was immediately apparent as a monstrous form launched an attack, met with a powerful red energy release, leaving all prisoners expressions of shock and pain. So all the prisoners watched above them in disbelief. A punch coming from above for them, killing them in one go, as his power far surpassed even the first-tier hero. The impact made the control devices to break, made the male spit out blood, and watch in utter shock, as his death comes closer. Even the woman could not believe what was happening, and left their mouth wide open. Cries from prisoners arose on the floor, everyone running for their lives from Seo, as woman command to use their last strategy, the man forwarding the message to all. Then Seo Kangyu appeared, eyes glowing red, one prisoner shouting, don't move! He swiftly took a hostage, his hand crackling with orange energy. If you move, I'll kill him, as their last hope to survive. They said holding 3 guards as hostages. Seo, with only lifting his one finger, made the whole room erupt in red energy, cutting all the prisoner. The true nature of the threat began to unfold with the second error. A character screamed in horror as red energy permeated the scene, with Seo Kangyu, his face shadowed but eyes menacing, explaining that, although it's in physical series, but I didn't know of such an ability. The brutal consequence of this oversight was a scene of sheer carnage, bodies lying in pools of blood. The third and the last error. Damn, what should I do? Should I put on the control device now? A frantic hey, I'll put on the control device. Just my life. As his eyes widened, we saw a red sword swinging, emitting red energy. So making a huge tornado swinging his sword, his red energy going all over the floor, killing all the prisoners in sight. The crushing reality settled in. It's already. It's too late to strategize. Seo, with red eyes and sword in his hand, a character racked with pain, unleashed a final burst of blue energy, only to be met with the agonizing cry. Damn it! Man yelled at her. What happened? It's a total wipeout. Don't you have another plan? Hey, say something. I shouldn't have trusted your words. You're saying the control device didn't work? Even though there were 30, making her more angrier as he mocks her more, finally tells to put control device to survive. The female character lashed out. Shut up, then physically struck the male character with a powerful blue-tinged blow. Who do you think you are to raise your voice like that? You think we're on the same level because we're together? Killing the man in one blow, standing over his body, her internal turmoil was evident in her questions. But all of those broke, and, if he's that strong, why didn't he fight on the front lines? It doesn't make sense. Damn it! She screamed, standing over the bleeding, unconscious male figure. A chilling rustle broke the silence, grabbing attention of the female. Prion guard under her found himself pleading in terror. Please, save me. Someone please, save me. As she lunged at him to kill him too with her claws. Suddenly the claw and was cut apart in middle of attack, leaving her in shock to see her hand, as the prison guard still in defense position. She saw her back where Seo was standing beside her. Grabbing the opportunity, the guard runs off, screaming in terror. Seo in rage asks her, did she have any last words, as woman in pain and shock holds her cut hand, realizing she is screwed for real this time.